October's greetings, everybody. I'm Lazy Universe, and I wanted to do another video, but unlike something that I have done before, and I've already have uploaded on my Multi-Movie Mondays, and so I was thinking, well, what's out to talk about or what's out to review, if you know what I mean. And I think I had the perfect summary of what I can review because, well, I have talked about and it's sitting right here, the DC Titans TV series a long time ago. So why not review a series that I actually wanted to cover and after seeing the ending didn't know exactly what to say about it. And that is DC's own Doom Patrol. Yeah, you've heard of this series. Exclusive only to the DC something basically DC sort of like with Netflix or whatever we were streaming at the time. As you can see, it's a pretty good star-studded series, especially based on the Grant Morrison comic book under the same name. Yes, this is based on the Grant Morrison Doom Patrol run. And in case a lot of reviewers are going, Doom Patrol? I'm a fan of comics and I've never heard of them. Doom Patrol was a weird concept created in the 1960s, and, well, they're filled with a bunch of outcasts that were combined together to make a superhero team. And if you can't guess, it is kind of what inspired Marvel to do the X-Men, or was based off of the Fantastic Four, even. You make your own claim on that. But anyways, we're going to talk about the very first season, because that's all that I own, but eventually I'll talk about the second and third season. Just not yet, mind you. So, I've never done a TV series retrospective and review before, so just bear with me if I go off on tangents at some point, because mostly I'm just going to cover the first season of Doom Patrol. So let's begin, and also if I seem a little bit out of it, I just got my flu shot today, so I'm kind of not feeling good at the moment, but I decided to make a video anyways. I'm a whore. But anyways, let's dig into Doom Patrol Season 1, and let's talk about the story, the characters, and most of all, what it's all about. The start of Doom Patrol focuses around the different characters that we have to meet. First up is Cliff Steele, aka Robot Man, played by the one and only Brendan Fraser of the Mummy movie fame. Cliff is a world-famous race car driver, or really NASCAR driver, and as you'd expect, not everything goes exactly his way or exactly as planned, especially during his first race. It's not too long before he's found by Timothy Dalton, who plays Niall Calder, and Rita Farr. And then, he tried to attempt to put them back together and make him whole again. Cliff seems to be suffering from PTSD, especially since he's given a robotic body because his real body is, well, no more, and he's just a brain inside of a human body, or organic cybernetic body, if you would. From here, we go to meet Rita Farr, aka Electra Woman, and yeah, she's kind of the main focus of the film too for a short time. Rita Farr used to be an actress. That is until she came in contact with some voodoo magic or something, and she would turn into this hideous creature, even though I'm confused at why they chose to do that for Rita Farr's character in this, but that's beside here or there, and that's not the point. And besides, they're all revolting at the sight of her. I mean, really? You call this ugly? I've seen more ugly people that exist in humanity. Have you ever seen Donald Trump before? And finally, one of the last characters that we get to meet before Negative Man is Crazy Jane, played by Diane Guerrero. And I gotta give this woman credit, she does a really great job in this role. More on Crazy Jane in a bit, but just know that she's a woman that suffers multiple personality disorder with 26 personalities living inside the poor girl. Yeah, so she changes on a flip of a dime almost randomly. It's not long before they find a town that they can kind of, well, quote unquote, fit in. This seems to be the plot of the story, and this is where most of the story seems to progress during this part, and for Doom Patrol itself. Doom Patrol is more than just a fair share of weird stories that were told by Grant Morrison. This is a superhero team who deals with things that not even the Justice League hears about, like interdimensional tapeworms, or in this fact, a matter-eating universe. Also, in a weird turn of events, Cyborg is a part of the Doom Patrol. This seems weird to me on a level that you could never understand, but I would love to have somebody try to at least. No, Javian Wade, who plays Cyborg, does a really great job in this series, but it's only questionable why Cyborg and not Beast Boy is in this series. Well, there might be an explanation for that. Cyborg, or Victor Stone, was created by the infamous talents of George Perez and Marv Wolfman, who worked on the new Teen Titans. And while Beast Boy is a good choice to have on a team, besides the Doom Patrol was the first team that he premiered on, not too many people know that, but I think Cyborg fits more on the team than Beast Boy. I mean, don't get me wrong, Beast Boy is a fine, perfect specimen of why the Doom Patrol should exist, a boy that just changes into animals almost at random. But Cyborg is a man who once was human who was transformed into a robot because of his father, Victor Stone. So, he, seems more like he's on par with his team than on the new Teen Titans, so to speak, which is why probably it's more that he's not on the TV series The Titans, but more so on the series of the Doom Patrol. And you know what? The series having Cyborg, at least for me, I kind of complained about it at first, but Cyborg seems to be a really good pick for this particular series because he gets some of the best storylines and some of the best character development that I've ever seen. And no spoilers, but what happened to him behind the scenes, aside from his father turning him into, well, Cyborg, is a lot darker when you get to the nitty gritty of it. And oh yeah, I'm not kidding. A lot of the characters, you have a lot wrong with them. But this is what made Doom Patrol Doom Patrol. It's not just your run of the mill series, although it could be. It has a lot more to it, especially during the first half. A lot of heavy character development. That is not a bad thing. This series has a lot going for it, and well, that's honestly kind of the good thing that there's so much that you can pick up in every episode. Every episode runs about, I don't know, about an hour and a half long or an hour long, but it really gets more important, especially when the professor, now Calder Timothy Dalton, goes missing. So I know I haven't covered it yet, but the whole thing with Negative Man is that he's gay. He's a gay man who was in a marriage, had some sons, and yet found out he was gay. I just wanted to point that out for the retrospective. This team also comes across its fair share of really interesting villains throughout the entire series, especially the Puppet Master, probably my most favorite villain in this series. He's a guy who knows how to pull people's strings, and that's exactly what makes him creepier and what makes him more than formidable, especially for a team of the Doom Patrol, because he really gets down to the nitty gritty, especially with Crazy Jane. Speaking of, we get to see Larry after he congested the, I don't know, parasite or whatever you want to call it, and his partner trying to be there to cheer him up, especially since a gay relationship, especially in the Air Force or military, is required, restricted, and forbidden. Also, I think it's supposed to be a joke, but the iconic villain Animal Vegetable Mineral Man is in this series, but he never fights the Doom Patrol for some strange reason, even though I really wanted him to throughout the whole entire series. The first half of Doom Patrol is a really bizarre, twisted series, and it really gets me excited because I'm a guy that likes bizarre, twisted, and weird series, and Doom Patrol nailed that with a hammer. Would you like to see the Doom Patrol go against a cult that's invited on, ending the world quickly and fully to the point, but have it be stopped by a pug? It also turns out the gods of this universe are weird because they look like this. Yeah, Doom Patrol gets into some weird shit eventually on in the series. Ah, yes, there's also Mr. Nobody, played by the amazing, talented Alan Tudyk. And he is hysterical. He's not only Mr. Nobody, he's also the narrator of the entire series. But the first about, I don't know, say like 10 episodes are mostly very well done in the character development genre, really getting us to understand each character and mostly every character that played a part in the series. But then there's the second half. Doom Patrol Season 1 really feels like a season, but stretched out. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody. Because the first part of the season is that you just have, the patrol. They're setting things up, letting you know what the Doom Patrol does in their meantime, and especially what really the series is about. Then there's the second half, which kind of goes into strange and crazy territory. And I haven't even gotten to the finale yet, which is not as great as I'd like it to be. But let's go into the second half of Doom Patrol because God knows this goes a lot strange. I know I can kind of sum it up very quickly, but there's a lot of like strange things that happen that I'm just gonna try to quickly summarize through, and especially since all these episodes are an hour, yeah, just bear with me as I go through them as quickly as I can. Because the second half of the series kind of gets weirder, and then the last of it is really where things get really like, why did you do this territory? Because the second half of the original series begins with Doom Patrol, an episode where they meet the original Doom Patrol. This is fucking stupid. A nice nod to some of the other Doom Patrol characters that were originally on the team, and that I can respect and acknowledge, especially for Grant Morrison creating most of the Doom Patrol iconic characters, but this is still dumb. Oh yeah, remember when I said that Larry was gay, aka Negative Man? No, I wasn't kidding or trying to make a joke out of it. No, really, the dude is pretty much gay, and they made this establishment. I'm not saying that as a complaint, I'm just letting people know. Aside from getting information more about Larry Traynor, the Negative Man, the whole episode is them in therapy. Which is fucking stupid yet again. There's actually a good episode called Danny Patrol, where the Doom Patrol meet a teleporting street that is nicknamed Danny. Danny is kind of a nice little guy. He's a living street that can teleport, move around the world, and have people, or outcasts, live on him. You can guess where this episode kinda goes just from that. The episode has a lot of drag queens on it. This kinda surprised me when I noticed this, that there is drag queens upon a living street in Doom Patrol. I know I should be questioning it, but fuck it, it's Doom Patrol. The episode after they help out Danny is a pretty good one too, Jane Patrol, where they have to figure out how to help Jane and all her personas that live inside of her head. Very good, crazy Jane self-centered episode. I love Diane Guerrero in this role. I hope I'm saying her last name right. And Jesus Christ, this episode is just so damn good, especially for her as a great actress and also as crazy Jane in this series, which could not have been easy. The episode after that one is called Hair Patrol, where Doom Patrol has to deal with a very weird villain that they actually had that Grant Morrison created because Grant Morrison, known as Beard Hunter. Oh yeah, we also get some backstory of Niles Calder, who ends up meeting a cave woman who actually took him in her arms and cared for him and, helped him survive while he was stuck in the Yukon Territory back in 1917. Also, did you want to watch Timothy Dalton have awkward cave woman sex with a woman that is hairier than any other person on existence? You do? Then this series is for you, and if I had to live through it, then so do you. Aside from, I need to bleach my eyes again, the Hair Patrol episode is, kind of a very, very weird one, and it all goes downhill from here, folks. And be sure to strap yourselves in because this ending is fucking ridiculous. Oh dear lord, these last 5 or 6 episodes are horrendous. And I thought Timothy Dalton fucking a cave woman was bad. And if you don't think that happened, I wish I could unsee it. I had to deal with it. I had to see every excruciating detail. How do you think I feel? Oh, you want to see Timothy Dalton fuck a cave woman very similar to the style of In Quest for Fire? It's in here. Whoever wanted it, I don't think Grant Morrison did. But anyways, let's talk about the series ending and see how they end this series, and I promise you it's in the weirdest fucking way possible. So let's talk about the end of Doom Patrol. So our first episode towards the ending of the series begins with Robot Man going after his daughter. Yeah, Robot Man finally suddenly realizes that his daughter is actually still alive, so he finds it within himself to go and track her down and see what happened to her, and see if he can reconnect with her, sort of, even though he looks like this. Robot Man finds out that she works for a bar, where she is a waitress. And she'd grown up to be a pretty good young woman, and he's happy for her and the life that she chose. Oh yeah, it's kind of a sweet scene, but also sad too. Larry ends up finding out where his old partner lives, and he actually spent some time with him. And sadly, it's the last moment before his death. But Robot Man goes after a alligator because it ate a watch that was very sentimental to his daughter. Yeah, I'm not kidding. He literally goes to kill a gator just because it ate a pocket watch. But again, the relationship that Larry and his partner had was just so fantastic. It's so sad and it's so moving, especially when he dies in Larry's arms. Our next episode has to deal with the saving of Victor Stone after he'd been taken to a place known only as the Ant Farm. This is a pretty good comedy-based episode, truthfully, and to be told, it really does play on the comedy really quite well, I do have to say. And also, yes, they do have anus monsters or butt monsters. And did somebody call Batman anyone? And now to get to a really good episode to introduce a superhero that was created by Grant Morrison himself, known only as Flex Mentallo. Flex Mentallo is a play off of the Golden and Silver Age superheroes, and Flex Mentallo, usually he gets his superpowers from his name. He's able to flex, and he has a mentality over every muscle that he flexes. Every muscle that flexes does something different, so each and every muscle has something new that he can use for a superpower, which is kind of a nice touch when you think about it. However, Flex did not remember who he was until he met the love of his life yet again, who was waiting for him all these years later. Aww. But then tragedy has to strike. As they tell each other that they will always love one another as they both remember each other and the great lives that they had together, not everything is a happy little story as his wife begins to tragically die in front of his eyes. And by tragically die, I mean that with all sincerity. She Thanos snaps right in his arms, as the guy can do nothing but scream and cry as his wife passes away. There is an episode where they do have to enter this place known only as the Nobody Universe, using old DC comics as a retrospective. That's kinda cool. And also, did somebody want a very good scene where everybody fucking orgasms?
Oh my.
I'm not kidding. Flex makes the entire town orgasms all at once by accident. It's fucking hilarious. But soon they enter the Nobodyverse, where there's nobody there that loves them or holds them or whatever, and they're trapped inside of their own nightmares thanks to Alan Tudyk, aka Mr. Nobody. There's even a nice nod to their old classic uniforms from the 60s. I absolutely love that, and it made me kind of enjoy just seeing them on the screen. Nice touch. At the end of the series, however, they are soon reunited with Timothy Dalton, Niles Calder, and told that they have to save the world from Mr. Nobody. And here's my gripe with this series. The final episode should have been really, really better, but it's just not, because they also noticed that one of Niles Calder's children is alive and well during the town that is seeing the apocalypse. They do find her, and she's behind the door. It's just we don't actually see her until season 2, and I have a good idea of who her daughter actually is. But screw you too, Doom Patrol Season 1. The series ends with Alan Tudyk doing a stand-up routine while a giant mantis and a giant rat fight each other. You heard me. A giant rat and mantis fight each other. I'm sorry, giant rat and giant cockroach. And this is really how this series ends, because Alan Tudyk, Mr. Nobody, is the narrator and he can control the whole episode due to his powers and blah blah blah. I know that Doom Patrol is a weird and out there comic series, but this first season is not too good. As you have noticed, I've skipped around a lot of scenes, and that's because, well, I wanted to try to get through this video as quickly as possible. But let's just talk about each different half. The first half is pretty good. It really establishes, like I said earlier, the team, and especially the superheroes behind the team, and the stories that they have together as well. Kind of a nice touch. Then the second half has some good and bad episodes. on the second half. And I have to say that for the second half, the episode that I really did enjoy was probably the Doom Patrol establishing the older Doom Patrol heroes, especially some that were mostly identified and created by Grant Morrison himself. Danny Patrol is also a very great episode too, establishing that Danny is an outcast, so he takes outcasts and people like, transgendered, gays, lesbians, people like that, or even goths, or even people like me that are not abnormal, that are really out there, and he takes them to a faraway getaway place, and kind of gives them a sanctuary where they can be their own. But the third one is probably the least favorite, is that the third act of the episode, there is not too many good episodes except probably Flex Patrol, which really establishes Flex Mentallo in the Doom Patrol universe, because Flex Mentallo was, instead of being a Grant Morrison creation, and Grant Morrison still owns the right to him, he is permanently on the Doom Patrol itself. So, my final thought is that this is a great series to watch for anyone, especially since it's Halloween, or the Halloween season, and if you want something that's freaky and sometimes goes unexplained territory, and especially supernatural stuff, this is the series for you. I gotta credit every actor in this. Nobody does a terrible job in this series. Everybody does above and beyond their own expectations and really brings the series together. And hey, I'm a comic guy, as you can see from probably my collection of owning a bunch of like superhero movies. So yeah, I am definitely a comic guy. So my expertise on Doom Patrol, I would say give it a watch, but just forgive it toward the tail end, especially after seeing Timothy Dalton fuck a cave woman. I can never unsee that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to see some more of these, I could do have some more series behind here that I can check out and even do. But don't ask me to do like Batman the Animated Series or Batman Beyond, because that would take a really long time, especially just to go through each and every individual episode. So nothing like that. But anything else kind of like this, like if I ever get the fourth season of like Stranger Things, I'd love to do that with it too, or even the second series of the Titans and whatnot, or even more of Doom Patrol. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope that you check out Doom Patrol if you haven't already. They are all available on DVD and all at very good prices, depending on where you live. I think I got mine for like $10 even, so pretty good price all the things considering. I got it for my birthday back during the dark age of 2020. That was a really good watch, though, but I didn't end up finishing it until 2022 because I've been busy off and on doing stuff. So I hope that you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching of this retrospective on Doom Patrol Season 1. I've been Lazy Universe, and I'll see you next Monday with Remakes and Rehat Day. Until next time.